E pessoal, simplesmente do máximo visual. Hoje iremos reagir a rap do Aomine Daiki to O Melhor da Geração from Flash Beats. As I said in my previous Flash Beats reaction, love Kuroko Basket, my favorite anime of all time, and I'm just so happy that there is an artist who makes a bunch of Kuroko Basket songs. So we're going to react to a lot of Flash Beats for the future. But let's get into this one. It's Aomine Daiki. The best of the generation is something I heavily disagree with, but you guys already know how I feel about it. Akashi is the best, and I will stand by that opinion. But let's get into it.
Jogo basquete desde a minha infância, mano, absurdo. Mesmo sendo uma criança, já era melhor que os adultos. Difícil não ser arrogante se eu sempre fui melhor em tudo. E ainda vocês têm coragem de dizer que eu Akashi que é absoluto. Sempre mantive esse.
I love that line. Yes, I still believe Akashi is absolute. Akashi is the greatest, and yes. But I mean, Aomine has a point. He's been the best ever since he was a kid, and when you're kind of the best in your area, you believe you're the best everywhere else. But Akashi's still the greatest, and yeah, that's all I need to say.
E ainda vocês têm coragem de dizer que eu Akashi que é absoluto. Sempre mantive esse melhor porte, portando uma força maior do que a sua. Pra me vencer tem que ser mais que sorte, carrego talento, basquete de rua. Criado na rua e nela aprendi que dom natural em mim pode surgir. Tanto treinamento até que é eficiente, mas caso o oponente não seja a mim. Sabe que eu cheguei, primeiro destaquei, cestinha dessa geração, freestyle dominei. Pra trás nunca fiquei, o aço é como um rei. Os jogos da escola até que eu todos carreguei. E no final
I didn't say this before in my last Flash Beats reaction, but another thing that I love about his particular music is his voice. His voice is really interesting in the fact of it kind of fits the beat. Like every time he's rapping and every time like he switches up like how fast he's going, his voice just fits the beat. I'm not sure if there's a proper word for that, but like it just makes sense to how he's saying it and how the beat is. Like it just fits perfectly together. So I feel like every time he switches, like usually for me I would find that jarring, but he switches so gradually and so smoothly that I am in love with it every time he switches.
dominei, pra trás nunca fiquei, o aço é como um rei. Os jogos da escola até que eu todos carreguei. E no final mostrei que todo esse meu talento sempre esteve acima do meu time inteiro. Entre o Akashi que se me Torima, Murasa que para, eu destaque em primeiro. Time de Pantera, uma fera que não dá trégua, mostrando habilidade, a vitória já tá na espera. Enquanto você tá na guerra, buscando, fazendo ponto, arremesso irregular, acertando sem se tabela. Assim massacro sem dó, ó, sabe que eu sou o melhor. Tô sem piedade pra esmagar os fracassados que querem bater de frente sabendo que é pior. Tão entediado, vencer partidas já perdeu a graça. Então
And another thing that I really like about Flash in particular is his instrumental is somewhat simpler. It's kind of like this beat and then you hear the violin in the background and that's usually it. At least that's what I'm hearing. And it's mostly just his voice dominating the music, which is something that I actually really like because it's just a showcase of his talent. Like obviously I'm a really big fan of instruments. You know, you can look at Enigma music, for example. Like I really love heavy instrumentals. I love music in general, but like just having Flash's voice dominating the video, that's also something really cool because it allows his talent and just his general skills to be shown off more. So something I noticed.
Tão entediado, vencer partidas já perdeu a graça. Então decido chegar atrasado pra ver se de mim o oponente passa. Claro que não, mesmo chegando atrasado, parando com os treinos, ninguém me supera. Sou eu que sou bom demais ou vocês que são ruins? Na verdade eu já tô cansado dessa merda. Bando de fracote, sorrindo cadeira no ar, morena que dá. Se eu decidir usar 20%, todos os oponentes param de jogar. Não pare de treinar, não sei se você entendeu. Ninguém pode me derrotar, quem me derrota sou eu. Camisa vai cair, dura só 5 minutos porque você vai desistir. Essa fica prevendo, ela pode me pedir. Meu talento está acima de todos que estão aqui. Pisei na quadra, tema babá, mano, eu já tirei minha conclusão. Sua equipe é fraca, você não é nada. Frente ao as melhor da geração. Sou um moço na...
Wow, remember when I talked about how he switches so suddenly but really smoothly? That is one of the examples. Like literally he was slower and then all of a sudden he picked up the speed like so smoothly, and like before you know, he's already so fast that you can't even comprehend it. Like I was just jamming out to it, and I felt his music is something else. Like I love his style.
Sua equipe é fraca, você não é nada. Frente ao melhor da geração. Sou um monstro na quadra, ferocidade de uma pantera. Ninguém jamais irá passar por mim, nem que inferno congele o que brote na terra. Acelero e desacelero, controlo o ritmo do 100. Eu vou pro zero, mostrando o meu estímulo. Iniciando o jogo sério, chegando a ser tão crítico. Hoje assassino o seu time, jogo esmagado todos os 5. Gosta de...
And that's another thing. I was thinking about that, honestly. How Aomine's style of basketball and Flash's style of rapping are actually such a perfect combination. Like, even in the line itself, talking about how Aomine controls the tempo, he goes from 100 to 0 very fast, and you're going to need to keep up with him. Same thing with Flash, he literally just did it where he would go from 0 to 100, and he's kind of taking you on this journey of music, and I love it. So, in terms of character and in terms of style, I feel like Aomine and Flash are like 1 in a million. Like they are such a perfect combination together. Which makes me actually excited because I think I was looking at the music he made for like the other raps in general, and I think he made one for one of the Uncrowned Kings, if I remember correctly. Like the guy who does lightning dribbles. I think he did one for, what's his name? Hayama, I think. Kotaro. So I think if he did do that one, I'm really interested to see if that style continues because, like Aomine, he can control the rhythm of the game. So I just love how we see that kind of similar style in Flash's writing.
Estímulo, iniciando o jogo sério, chegando a ser tão crítico. Hoje assassino o seu time, jogo esmagado todos os 5. Costa de frente por trás da tabela, com uma mão ou duas eu não vou errar. Com 15, com 10 ou com 5% de olhos fechados, cê não vai passar. Vitória garantida a cada partida, só minha presença altera todo o clima. Vejam-me investida, não prevê minha vida, então fica ainda mais forte quanto mais cê fica. E se cê não vai ser melhor do que eu e me copiar, isso no fim não ajuda. O único que me derrota sou eu. Eu não tô falando de a cópia fajuta. Tô perdendo a partida.
Also, sorry, I'm pausing a lot because I was talking about the simplicity of the instrumental a while ago, but then hearing the violin again, it kind of feels a bit sad now I think about it. Why is it sad? I think you're asking. I think it's sad because it's kind of similar to Aomine's feeling of basketball. Like, Aomine was the best at basketball ever since he was younger, and he never had a challenge. That's why he fell out of love with basketball. It became boring to him. So I feel like hearing this violin in the background, it's similar to that. It's him kind of just being upset that everyone is just not as good as he is. It's kind of that mentality of you're just not challenged enough. And I feel like if that's the reason why the violin is there, hats off to the producer because, or the beatmaker, I don't know who's in charge of making the instrumentals, but that is incredible symbolism, and I feel like not a lot of people understand that. Of course, it could be me just overthinking it, but hearing that again, I feel like there's a bit of similarity there.
O único que me derrota sou eu. Eu não tô falando de a cópia fajuta. Tô perdendo a partida, é claro. Eu tô deixando, mostre seu talento. Mas a Momoi e até a torcida tão se preocupando o que tá acontecendo. Porque vocês estão me subestimando, mano. Eu não tô acreditando. Isso não é possível, eu sou tão incrível. A fera na quadra, pantera imbatível. Vocês acham mesmo que eu vou perder? Isso não é nem metade do empenho. Que decepção que se vinham, pois ainda nem era tudo que eu tenho. Já perdeu a graça, não sinto mais emoção. Só sinto aflição de ver vocês jogando. Sinto evolução, mas sem utilização. Do que adianta usá-la se eu ganhei brincando? Vem cá, cama então, você já perdeu uma vez. Mas que decepção, essa tua luz e sombra. Vocês querem mesmo que eu jogue com tudo? Então se prepare porque eu tô na zona. Agora que eu percebo correr.
Oh, you hear that? He's going to the zone now? Oh, I'm excited. Okay. Knowing, and I've heard a little sneak peek of it, so I'm excited to see how fast Flash is gonna go. Alright, let's get ready.
Vocês querem mesmo que eu jogue com tudo? Então se prepare porque eu tô na zona. Agora que eu percebo com realmente cê é fraco, não me vence antigamente. Imagina então nesse estado aumentando a velocidade, concentrar-se 100%. Os pontos marcados antes era só no aquecimento. Mesmo com você na zona, seu time se desespera, pois sabe que hoje o tigre é a comida de uma pantera. Não ligo pra sua força, essas pulos já tá no papo. Você cairá
was only like 13 seconds, and he. I can't believe that was only 13 seconds. Wow. And he went. That's impressive. That's impressive. Okay. I was actually a bit surprised because I was expecting a way bigger, like, I don't know, explosion at the end, something like really big. Because I feel like the Akashi one had like a much bigger ending to it. But I feel like that's the difference between like Akashi and Aomine. I feel like Akashi has way more explosive power than Aomine. Like obviously Aomine is very. I feel like Aomine isn't explosive, but he's just unorthodox. Like Akashi is explosive. He can do things out of nowhere. But I think Aomine's style is because he's just not interested in playing as full strength. Akashi is. Akashi wants to win. He wants to crush people. But Aomine has a limiter, so I feel like that's why. Even like in the music, he's talking about like he's asking whether or not people really want him to go all out. So I feel like that's why. So a little bit thinking about my end, but okay, interesting. And sorry, I'm a little bit far. And maybe that's why Flash Beats focuses more on that segment, like of that. There's that brief like 15 seconds in the chorus where I feel like there's way more explosive power, and I feel like that's supposed to symbolize Aomine's strength. Like he will only go full power for a few seconds. So I feel like that's why. So maybe when he's in the zone, it's that way more controlled aspect versus when he's kind of like showing off. That's when he's a bit more explosive. I don't know. So I just feel like there's a reason for why Flash Beats kind of wrote in that style. But you guys can let me know. I'm probably just overthinking it. I think I'm analyzing this one particularly just because there are so many Kuroko in a Basket songs that he did, and I'm just very curious of how he's going to make it different. Like he's going to alter them some way. So I'm kind of focusing on those smaller details. Also because I just love the show. But let me know what's your opinion of the song in the comment section down below. And let me know what else I should react to. Until then, hope the cowboys to see it. Simply ordinary. Howdy.